Clyde 50, Frankfurt 46, St. John's Beloit Tipton over Chase 49-29, Washington County 76-30 over Troy, Salina Sacred Heart lost to Council Grove 54-47, and it was Remington, or Bennington, excuse me, 59 and El Saline 44 in some of the games played last night. So there were a couple of games. Weather was weather. I think more or less the flu. I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Hoxie.
Okay.
Was that weather or flu?
That was kind of weather. You know, we had to make that decision early enough in the day. You know how, what was it, 4:35, the highways were clear, you know, but we were going to have to leave it at 2 o'clock to get there for the JV girls game, and we'd been watching KDOT, and Megan Hart, who drives over from Bogue, said that 24 was pretty nasty west of Stockton. So we made a good choice, and we postponed that to the 22nd. So it'll be after sub-state brackets come out. So it won't affect seeding for sub-state, but it'll be a good game. You know, you play on that Tuesday and you're off for a whole week, so you know, give the boys and girls a good game there to get ready.
You can get the win over Hoxie. That would be a real good momentum boost.
Well, that'd be probably the best thing you could do going into sub-state. Yeah,
they're tough.
You know, they're tough boys and girls. It was going to be a good night, and it still will be when we play them. So.
Sure. Okay, and you know, I drove to Hayes Tuesday night. And of course, like you say, early in the day, you never know. And how many we've seen that before. You know, they call school off, and then the sun comes out.
Right.
But you got to make that decision early, and because of everything. You know?
Yeah, and we take a lot of fans. You know, we travel well, and just I think the concern when you come home, it's dark, and that's kind of deer alley also, and so too many of those things just wasn't worth the risk.
Sure.
So.
Right. So we weren't here last week because. Rachel was down and doing things at Beloit with the C-team tournament, so we didn't have a chance to talk. So what games haven't we talked about here then?
Well, last Tuesday we played Southern Valley at Southern Valley, Nebraska, and then Friday we played Trigo at Trigo. So two definitely different styles of officiating. That was.
Oh yeah, Nebraska officiating.
That's different.
You always say, well, yeah, we're ready for it because we try to pick it up in practice and not call as many fouls or whatever. But you're never ready for it, and it affects you mentally. I think more than anything, it's not the physical part of it. It's just the mental. Just the beat down, and you make some mental mistakes and things. But we faced a Southern Valley team fresh off winning their RPAC conference title, and they were rolling, and we hung right with them. I think it was a 4 or 5 point game at half, and I think we ended up losing by 15. So proud of the girls for their effort there, just due to kind of the rough conditions. But then we went to Trigo and saw some pretty ticky-tack officials, so you never know what you're going to get. Got in foul trouble there and just kind of had probably our worst shooting night. We kind of just put our worst night all together, got rid of it, hopefully. And then last night, of course, Saturday we had the C-team tournament, and the C-team girls went 1-1. Lots of good gains made. It's always a great tournament to see those girls make improvements. It's 2 full games, and oftentimes they don't even get a full game on a Tuesday or a Friday. So.
And that's the thing, game experience. That's really important.
Yes. Yep.
If you practice, it's all right, but you're seeing the same girls you see in school all day.
Yep.
This is something different.
Yeah.
It's what I always told my kids. It doesn't matter if you're playing varsity, JV, C-team. Just get the ball in your hand and put in the hours. Put in the hours, and you've got a bunch of kids that are putting in the hours.
Yep.
Okay, now you look then coming back last night to understand they had something special at halftime with the boys, and I heard it here at my house.
Did you?
No, but
you probably saw the cars clear.
Well, I couldn't figure out how I was going to go, and I just don't.
Might not have been a seat for you, Tad.
I was going to go, and I drove by, and there's no way I could have walked all that distance. So I went home, and would watch a little bit, and I'd watch some of the Winter Olympics opening. Oh, that was something. Anyway, okay. So what about TMP? Are they still rolling pretty good?
Well, they're ranked 3rd in the state in 3A girls, and they just have a lot of weapons, and about the time you think you've got one of them contained, there's another one that, puts in a couple threes. both you talk about some of those games being postponed due to illness, and I'm not sure either one of our teams were at full strength last night. Rose and I talked before the game, but we knew, you've seen enough Michael Jordan sick games that it doesn't always matter, because if you've got that desire and want to, you can have a heck of a game. So we played them tight. It was 9-7 at the end of the first quarter, and above all, I told the girls we wanted to improve upon something, and the last 3 years we haven't really hung with TMP the best. They've gotten the best of us, and they started out the second quarter on a 12-0 run, and we just could never recover from that. So, but good things. We had a lot of positives that we needed to see coming off of last week. So, but our JV got a big win. And then we played 2 quarters of C team as well.
Okay.
So,
it's Rose McFarland when she was coach here. She's responsible for us going into broadcasting because she she made a rough time because they're in the early stages. Girls basketball is kind of hard to broadcast, but we did it, but she'd always see me. Are you doing the game tonight, Dad? And I said, yeah, we're doing the game tonight, so we're going to be doing all of them from now on, And it used to be boys B team and then boys A team, and that was it. Now there's a lot of basketball, which is great, I think. And, of course, the girls' basketball, the strides they've made, it's amazing.
Yes.
And how they, back behind the back dribbles and all this kind of stuff,
Yep.
And never forget, I was doing Norton. Lady J's over here one time, and it was real good. She came down the court from Norton and went behind the back of the dribble. I said, "Do you see that? The boys aren't even doing that yet." It's amazing. And I know, of course, you've been instrumental in getting things going and all that too. So, what's the rest of the season look like now?
Well, we're off. We have. Tuesday we play Concordia, and then we're off the following Friday. We go to Concordia Tuesday, and then the next week we're at Stockton Tuesday, and then at Hoxie Thursday.
Okay,
so
and that the next weekend after next is when they
the boys will play. The boys will host a sub-state game on Monday, and then we'll be on the road Tuesday. Kind of yet to be determined.
Sure.
But a lot of these schools, due to that weather on Tuesday, because we go to Colby, so a lot of our teams out west had to reschedule that game. We're looking at most teams only have 2 regular season games. Some can squeeze 3 in, but that last one probably comes after the sub-state brackets are out. So we should have a pretty good idea of who we play here after the next regular season game. Girls side anyway. I'm not sure how the boys are looking.
What do you prefer? Do you prefer an up-tempo game or more of a ball control game? What?
Well, that's. I tell our girls we're kind of a tough team to match up against. We've got some pretty good inside play. Got some posts that can put some points on the board, and then we've got good guard play that can get to the basket and shoot threes too. And we had some success when we were able to do some pressure in the backcourt, but a lot of these teams have really good point guard play, and you hate to put yourself behind, taking those chances, and so I think we like to play fast or pressure in the backcourt anyway. We like to play man-to-man defense. They don't like to play zone, but sometimes you got to be able to play that too.
Yeah.
We're working on that, but we're not we don't like to go slow.
That's what I thought. I thought,
we try to play
all your teams,
not super fast.
Most
but
of your teams have been that way.
Yeah.
You can tell you've had some horses that look like they're ready to run.
Yeah.
Getting back to Southern Valley just a minute, I want to talk about again. We've talked about this for years about the officiating. It's just it's not. I mean, it's consistent probably. It's consistent, but it's just really they allow a lot. Is that?
Well, it wasn't dirty, and that's sometimes I think what the girls, expect. I guess when it's just. And you can tell from when you go and then Nebraska teams fans they don't say much, and they're just used to it.
Yeah.
And so I think sometimes the inside play they allow a lot more banging around.
Yeah.
But as far as like the holding and they'll call those things. It's just out there dribbling the ball, you're probably going to get a hand on you, and that's how it goes. So
I'm going to have to get an official down there and one from Kansas somewhere sometime to talk about it.
I heard that once here. When we played Southern Valley a few years ago, that's when you'll hear the Nebraska fans because they'll get a foul on it, and I tend to agree. I would love to see the players have a little more room with hand checks and stuff, and I think the refs have kind of backed off that a little bit. But, years ago I told my youngest son when he was little, we played a tournament up in Nebraska. I says, now they're not going to call all the fouls up here, so you're just going to have to get over it. He fouled out of his first 2 games. So
yeah, they still call them.
Yeah. Okay. So you're on the downhill side now, then, aren't you?
Yeah.
Would you like to have all the games? Would you like to have the Hoxie game in there or you're going to be on the road for sure the first?
Yeah, we're probably I shouldn't say probably. We're a 5 or 6 seed.
Okay.
It's just going to depend upon these last two regular season games for us. But the one thing I was telling the girls, we can use that Hoxie game to work on things we want to do in that first sub-state game, and you got to go into it with the right mindset. That yes, you're trying to get a win, but you're also trying to work on something that's going to help you in a game that means a little bit more that next week.
Have you had much illness?
We've had a little bit of everything, Tad. Yeah. We've had some concussions.
Wow.
We've had some
flu.
We've had a little bit of that. It's just some years are better than others.
Sure.
And
this is a bad year.
This year seems to be pretty bad for everybody. And sometimes you feel like you're that only team that's affected by it, but that's not the case this year. So
Phillipsburg's been fortunate. I'd heard this morning that I knew Norton had been closed for 2 days, but I guess the main reason was I think Chad Hammonds had told me I think they had 16 teachers sick.
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing for the kids, but we don't have subs at a plethora these days. So maybe that might have been intentional. Get enough staff together. And now I don't know when that Norton Plainville game was postponed to, but they'll get it played.
All righty.
So.
Okay, who do you have this year?
All right. Well, my first person I brought was Ashlyn Cole. Ashlyn's a sophomore, and she's a guard, and she plays. She plays a little bit of everything. She's kind of one of those girls that we just want to see her out there as much as we can. And she's made a lot of improvements since last year. I would say that Ashlyn probably prefers the defensive end of the floor. She's kind of a go-getter. She's that girl that's going to get you a couple jump balls a game. And she plays tougher than her size. And I've got several girls like that. I'm just waiting. I think that growth spurt's coming. And they work hard for what they have, and I appreciate Ashlyn's attitude. And she comes to practice every day and gives it her best. And she's a very pivotal part of our scout team. And so she's got quite a bit on her plate. She's got to get better at what we do, so that she can go out there and do that. But then she really helps the varsity out and gives us the looks that we need to see going into the next game. So
talking about on the scout team, you kind of does Rachel kind of tell you, okay, now this is what I want you doing, that such and such on the team you're going to be playing Friday does this? Is that what you do? Is that hard? Or do you kind of have to change what you do, right?
Yeah, kind of. It's a lot of fun, though.
So what's your hardest thing to adjust to on the scout team?
Probably just
defense, maybe, or shooting, or
probably just more shooting, outside shots.
Okay. So what do you assign Ashlyn on the scout team?
I try.
Guard, or what do you have?
I try to give them somebody close to who I think that they can kind of replicate, so they don't have to go too much out of their game. I think they enjoy it when I say you shoot the ball whenever you're open, which is not necessarily not the case in general, but you got that open three, you fire away.
Sure,
Sometimes we take that scout team approach to our game, and I'm like, oh man, we probably shouldn't have worked on that too long. But I try to give her a guard and kind of her utmost importance is trying to pressure on
Sure.
defense. So
You know what the coach meant by all that? Inbounds in range.
Yeah.
Do you foul harder on scout team than you do in a regular game?
It depends.
Depends on if you're guarding friends. Yeah, you always want to beat your friends more than you want to beat somebody else.
So about how much playing time does she get? She got to come off the bench.
well, she starts. She's right up there starting JV. She'll get
Okay.
four full JV quarters.
Okay.
And then any C team quarters we have, again,
Sure.
we're trying to get her 6 quarters
Sure.
a night. She's, like I said, she's right there looking to keep improving and still super important part of our team. And I try to tell them every day that, even though they're not the ones playing out there in that varsity
Sure,
game on
yeah.
Friday, they make a huge difference. And we try to make mention of that. I think the team does a really good job of understanding how important they are. So
Okay, so as you get ready for a game, do you feel after you've had a chance to play 4 quarters and everything, maybe 2 quarters, do you feel, hey, I'm better at
Yeah.
now than before this game? You can just feel that improvement there?
Yeah.
What do you think your improvement's been best this year, actually?
Probably just more confident shooting.
And she shoots a 3?
she can,
Okay.
yeah.
You like the 3?
Yeah.
It reminds me a little bit of Colette Keaton. Colette was not a tall player, but Colette would get rebounds. She was just a hard worker. Size means nothing. It's intensity, and you keep going, you're going to get there.
Ashlyn got to play. We've had some injuries with a lot of our freshmen, and so Ashlyn got to play in the C team tournament last Saturday, and I think that was really good for all of them. But Ashlyn, you could tell improvements were made, and
Yeah.
I think one game she was maybe 3 for 6 from the field or something like that, and that continues to be an area that she improves upon. But after that Saturday and then seeing her last night, we keep on going. But unfortunately, we're going to run out of games.
Oh,
aren't we?
yeah,
So-
all right. So, do you do summertime basketball and
Yeah.
volleyball and stuff? And then, of course, volleyball and track. Do you do track?
I don't do track.
Track. Golf? No.
She's on the Pacers.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
all right. Were you involved in that halftime of the boys last
Yep.
night? Were you out there doing that?
Yeah, I was.
That was. We watched it it's on internet, and I watched it. Man, they really go out there.
Yeah, there was a lot of people.
It seems like to me the girls have a tougher schedule sometimes than the boys because you have Pacers while you have basketball.
Yeah.
Volleyball's coming up. I mean, it is year round. It's I don't know how you do it, but you do.
Yeah. I mean, you want to be busy, but some of them are too busy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
Summertime, and I've talked about this. Me growing up, she just did what you wanted to do, and play World Cup and baseball and this kind of stuff. You didn't trade baseball cards or comic books
Yep,
or something
yep.
like that. That was about all you did. But
Yep.
it's really changed.
Yep. Yeah. And
Do you like to be busy?
Yeah, it's not like,
But do you ever just like to just sit down
Yeah.
and not do anything?
yeah.
I think I'd like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I'm not going to do anything.
Yeah.
Are you into the iPhone stuff much?
Yeah.
Okay. And that takes time too, doesn't it? Yeah. Doesn't take time to me because I don't know what to do.
They
on it.
gotta
Thank
keep
him
their
for Rachel.
Snapchat
Rachel
streaks
keeps
and
me on the
everything.
serious. Well, good luck and
Thank
just
you.
keep improving here. Thank you, Ashley. Okay, fine. All right, we're going to talk with another young lady here.
All right, I brought. This is Emily Schneider. She's another sophomore. She plays post for us, and Emily got injured the 4th game of the year. We were playing Ellsworth in the Lincoln tournament, and one of her falls broke her a small bone in her wrist.
okay.
Emily likes to help clean up the floor for the
Okay.
teams. And, she's down there quite a bit.
Yeah.
Scares the daylights out of me when she goes
Sure.
to the floor. But so she's been out with that wrist. She came back, played a little bit for us against Trigo. That was her first game back.
Okay.
And then we took her to the C team tournament to get her some games, get her feet back underneath of her, literally, but kind of get her back in shape.
Yeah, sure.
And then, she's kind of my first or second post off the bench in the varsity game, and got her a JV quarter last night. So, you go that long, and you kind of forget a little bit about what she can bring to the table, and we're excited to have her back. We knew we were going to be excited to have her back, and all the while that Emily was injured, she was doing what she could on the sideline.
That was my
When she just had her hand in it was her left hand. Unfortunately, I wish it was her right, so she could have got a better shot with her left hand. But so it was her left hand wrist. So she just had a cast. So she was running with the girls, which game shape. Practice running a lot different, but she was running with the girls. She was mentally into every drill. She was I give her credit, kudos to that. That's pretty big for a sophomore to do that, to understand. And she was just itching to get back out there, and you could tell. I wasn't expecting her to do as well that first game back. So she earned it. She worked hard, and hopefully we've got good things ahead of us here in the next few weeks for her.
Your dad probably told you just rub some dirt in it.
Yeah, I did.
I know her genetics, and I can tell you she is tough. I remember her dad when he was young tore his hand open, and his mom stitched it up. I mean, she comes from that, so there's no let up in her.
Well, I don't know when she did it in the game, but the Ellsworth game went to overtime, and she'd come to the bench, and I think Erica fouled out at some point, fourth quarter probably. She kept holding her wrist, and I kept saying, "Are you all right? I need you to be tough. Get back in there." So who knows how much of the game she actually played with the
It was like the first, at the end of the first quarter, the beginning, or the
But
second.
I felt kind of bad after that. But
I think it was a couple years ago. We were over at the Norton Fair, and you were over there at a horse show over there, and you come running up to us, and I forgot what you had said. You were happy. You were tickled because you'd taken a face plant or something, and it was like most kids would be done, not her. She's like, yeah, that was great.
It's amazing. I had lunch with your mother yesterday, and she told me, kind of filled me in on everything that's going on, And could you? I mean, so you kept your. Did she run and everything? So so when you played, you didn't have to catch up on that. And what am I looking for?
well, some injuries. I mean, I hear you. Some injuries, you literally just get to sit there and watch.
Sure, yeah.
And she was able to do all of the sprints. She was able to work. When we split up posts and guards, she can pass one-handed.
Yeah.
She was doing shooting on the side constantly. And she probably did a little bit too much with the hand in the cast, but but yeah, she was right in there, and I think a player that can still be involved in as much a practice like that as they can. We worried about the whole passing and catching, kind of in while she was moving, but she's done a great job.
Yeah,
So
that's great. It's you used to say. Back when, before we had the injury problem, I was just walk it off, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You don't do that anymore because you could have a serious situation in there. Where well, so you feel pretty comfortable now and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing just fine.
All right.
What is her strong suit in a game?
Well, Emily can be she can be physical, which is something that we need. And she's a hard worker on the boards. She brings a lot of good rebounds. And then she can also stretch the defense. I think last night one of her shots was just inside the 3-point line. Mm-hmm. And so anytime you can get a post player to stretch the defense and show an outside threat. Yeah. That's a plus. But I would say the thing I was most excited to see was her boards. Mm-hmm. She works hard on the offensive end of the floor and defensive end. So
it's amazing what these athletes can do now. And what do you do? Do you do anything in the spring? Do you do track?
No, I usually am out working with the horses.
Oh, okay. Horses, right?
Yeah.
Are you really into horses?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you show horses quite a bit?
Yeah, I go to some barrel races up in McCook, and there's usually some kind of horse shows in the summer where I go to around here.
Have you ever done English?
No.
No, you don't like
No.
that. My granddaughters both are into that. They don't. It's an entirely different thing. Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah,
entirely
it is.
different
That's
thing.
completely
I
different.
think Lori Ferguson kind of tucked you under her wing.
Yeah, she did. Trust me. Another mother to me.
You know, I don't understand how that English works sometimes, but my granddaughters both were really into that. In fact, they're both doing that as a living now.
Oh, my.
And English horses.
Yeah.
And and they went to Colby and anyway. So you're ready to get with horses after this, right?
Yep.
Okay. Do you do summertime stuff too, volleyball? And
Oh, yeah.
basketball?
Yep,
Okay.
I do that too.
Okay. All right. Well, you have plenty of keeping you busy.
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Okay. How many horses do you have?
I only own one, but
Okay.
Lori owns all the rest of them. I
Okay.
just ride them for her.
Oh, sure. Okay. Very good. Anything else? No.
There's nothing that this young lady can do that none of it'll ever surprise me.
Yeah,
She's
okay.
just got a lot of drive, always has from a young age. And
Did you dance last night between?
No,
halves?
at that time I was icing my shoulder.
Okay.
And
Shoulder.
Yeah.
rub some dirt in it.
What's this? What's this all about?
Well,
Shoulder
this
now?
isn't a new injury.
Okay.
I knew.
Gee.
Yep. You're telling me, Ty.
Okay.
You're telling me.
Okay. Well, ice it and keep everything going. All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks for coming
You
on.
would
this
think
one.
you would think she'd already played 16 games. Wouldn't
Yeah,
you?
yeah,
Yeah.
Geez, wow, that's amazing. Anyway, thanks for coming
All
in.
right,
and
thanks
we'll see you
for
next
having
week.
us.
Yep.
Okay,
Work.
good deal. We'll have some more games to talk about. All right, who's coming in next year? Is it going to have Keith or are we going to have Mike Jenner? Okay, we're going to get Mike in here. A reminder that the Sports Talk brought to you every Saturday morning at this time and Thursday morning the Tadpole by the First National Bank and Trust, proudly supporting Panther Athletics. From our sales floor to your delivery door, come see Jim and Terry at Olive Bovey Furniture, appliances where they provide gracious living for less. Sunburst Realty LLC, where you find the best homes under the sun. Professional Family Eye Care, see Dr. Juneman for all of your eye care needs. Coombs Trucking, you call, we haul. Weinman Firestone, tire sales and service, back at the youth of Phillips County, and Biggs Insurance for all of your auto, home, business, and farm insurance needs. Okay, we're going to talk about Logan basketball here. Mike Jenner's with us this morning, and Mike, you were supposed to have a game last night, but you didn't get to it.
Yeah, we were. For whatever reason, Weskin called and had weather issues, they said, and they didn't show up, so we didn't have a game.
So is it canceled? Now, here's the difference. Postponed means it can be played. Canceled, that means it'll never be played. Do you think that's what it's going to be? Or
We did some checking yesterday, and honestly, we're too close to the end of the season. There's not really any dates. We've got a rescheduled game next week with Smith Center.
Right.
So we're going to be playing 3 games next week already.
Now in the 1A, did they do their? I was trying to think. Their sub-states earlier, 1 week earlier than the bigger schools, or do it all pretty much? When are they going to do your seating and everything? Next week or a week after?
Our
that?
seating will be, Tuesday? Not next week, but the following
Okay.
Tuesday. After that game, then they'll start seating. And we pretty much know where we're going to be in our sub-state already. So,
Okay, so where are you going to be going?
well, we're at Palco, and right now it's looking like we're going to be either the 2 or 3. It looks like Northern Valley will come out as the 1 seed, and it'll be between us and St. John Tipton for the 2 or 3.
Okay,
so we'll end up playing each other.
Okay, so we have your home first. You get that, or was all the tournament? Is it the whole tournament at Palco?
The whole tournament's at Palco.
Okay, so you don't have first home.
No.
You don't get that advantage.
Palco's got a good facility for
Yeah.
that. They always have.
Yeah, they do. They've got a fantastic gym.
They
and
still call it the
floor.
pit.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it's really nice. Good seating for people. And
back in the 50s when they put that in there, where they built that. I mean, it's a great facility. I'd like to have $1 for every game I did there.
Oh, my
we go
gosh.
over to the Cheyenne Conference tournament.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Oh, yeah.
And we do a lot of games over there, and it's just a beautiful place, and people don't understand it. They have a broadcast booth in there and everything,
Yeah,
so
it's
they
nice.
it's really a great facility, and they showed a lot of someone on doing something. Okay, let's talk about the Trojan season. How are things going?
Oh, not too bad. We're 11-3 right now. Two of our 3 losses are both Northern Valley. We've already played them 3 times this year.
Really?
We beat them the first time at our place, and then the last 2 times they've taken it to us. So
The tournament was on them in the tournament.
yeah,
Western
the
Kansas River
championship
League.
game of the tournament, we faced them for the 3rd time. And we just didn't have anything for them yet. But like I told the guys, we're going to have to see them another time to get to state. So
Wow.
let's save it for that. and
Yeah.
move on.
That's it.
There's a score, and you carried me on that. Salina Journal only had 6 points last night scored. It should have been 61,
Yeah.
against the,
I had a parent of mine text me this morning. He said, "Do you see that score for Valley?" I said, "No." I said, "What was?" He goes, 77-6. I said, "That cannot be right." I
hope
said,
it's
Valley's
not.
good, but they're not that good.
yeah. So, how the league go this year? Western Kansas River League. You used to be Cheyenne Conference. Some teams went east and some went west. And is the WKLL that a pretty good league to be in?
Not too bad. Some of the schools are kind of down this year. I know Wheatland Grinnell is not as good as they normally are, but they're still competitive. Tri-Plains Brewster the same way. A lot of them, they're young and they're going to be coming back up. I've been real pleased with the way we've played so far in the league games, with the exception of Valley. We've done pretty well against all the league schools.
Okay, you said that. Who's the other loss to?
The other loss was to Plainville.
Okay, well, they're a pretty good ball
Yeah,
club.
they're a very good
they're
ball
up
club.
there.
They outquicked us.
Okay, yeah, did they?
Yeah.
Okay, you end up at Palco. Who else will be there besides Northern Valley and you? Palco, I'm sure.
Yeah, Palico, and then Natoma's the 5th school.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Very good. Now, are you in basketball? Palco has their own basketball.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Okay. Not like football, where you kind of go together on that. So, what are your strengths this year, Coach?
Strengths would probably be senior leadership. We've got 3 seniors that have been playing with the program for 4 years.
Okay.
I would say overall, our inside play, when we do what we're supposed to, we're very good on the boards, rebounding the basketball. When we get out of our game is not 3-point. I mean, our game is work it in the paint and then every now and then hit something from the outside. When we've done that, we've been pretty successful, but the games we've lost, we've kind of got pulled out of that. And
Some of
we've
these
done some
teams
corrections.
live by the 3, you
Yeah.
die by the 3, don't you?
Yep, and that's if you're going to do it, you better be able to
Be
live
good,
with
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Are you guys a running team?
No.
No.
Our guys want to, and I keep telling them, guys, don't get it caught up.
Play
in
to
it
your
because,
strength.
Yeah, we're not very deep. We only have 11 players,
Yeah.
so they like to play man to man, but we've had to cut that back. Some play a lot of zone so we can stay out of foul
Sure.
trouble.
Yeah. So does that give you a problem when you have B team games with only 11, or do you get?
Yeah, luckily we've been able to play at least half B team games,
Okay.
and at least that's given some of the younger kids some playing time.
Yeah.
It's worked out pretty well.
Okay, sure. So, who do you have left to play?
Well, next Tuesday we've got Hill City at home, and then we've got the reschedule at Smith Center Thursday, and then we've got Wheatland Grinnell at home, and then the following Tuesday, who do we play, Riley?
Next Tuesday or this Tuesday?
The next Tuesday, I can't.
And that all goes in on the because the Wednesday
Yeah.
is when they do the
Who do we play?
the seeding.
I know we end the
Okay.
season with Shiloh, but I can't even think who we're playing there next
Maybe
Tuesday.
Lakeside?
Lakeside, that's
Okay,
what it is, yeah.
okay, Lakeside. So, do you have any long trips you have to take?
Well,
West's going to be a long
Shiloh.
one.
Cheyenne.
Yeah.
Cheyenne would be out
And
there.
that's the last game of the regular season this year, which doesn't count on the subset.
It'll be that Friday after the
Yeah.
seeding. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So,
but yeah, that's a long trip.
okay, who'd you bring this morning?
I got senior Riley Allen. He's one of our post players.
Okay, Riley. Senior, and you've been on the program for all 4 years.
Yes, sir.
What do you feel your contribution to the team is?
I pride myself in rebounding, and I'd like to use my athleticism to help the team on defense.
How tall are you?
6'2".
Okay, so is that a good height?
For our
rebounding?
level of basketball, that's pretty good.
You get very many putbacks?
Yeah, a few.
Offensive boards, is that what you really go with the offensive board situation and they give you another second shot at those?
Yeah, he's good on both ends. He really is.
Okay.
Don't know if you remember me. I coached you in little kids football years ago. Riley Allen, as a 4th, 5th, and 6th grader, was one very hard-working young man. And
He still is.
yeah, and I've also heard, I can remember a quote by John Thompson years ago. I don't care how tall a player is, how tall does he play? And I've heard he's got some hops. That does not hurt.
He does not realize how athletic
That's
he
it.
really is. And I've told him over and over, when he finally figures that out, there's not very many people that can stop him.
Riley, have you felt that your rebounding has been one of yours, as you've gotten, freshman, sophomore year, has that been one of your strengths?
Yeah, that's kind of where I found myself being best at in basketball. I'm not much of a shooter. I'm not much of a dribbler, but I can rebound.
Okay, so you get the rebound and get the ball out, and but no hurry to get it down, right? You just bring in the front court and set it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Imagine you've sent a few shots back too, haven't you?
Yeah.
Your blocks, yeah.
You like to block a shot?
Yeah, sometimes I jump a little too much. Coach
Yeah.
probably said.
Yeah. Stay on your feet.
Yeah. Heard that.
He's not going to out jump you.
Yeah,
Just
they
go ahead,
always-
stay on
they-
your feet. We'll
They
let him
always
get
said,
up.
don't jump.
Yeah.
When you guard, don't jump. Because then there's nothing you can do when you're up in the air.
Hard to tell a kid with hops, though.
Oh, I know. But he has done a lot better this year.
Yeah, I've heard there might be some handprints up there on the glass.
Yeah.
He's done that a few times too. Yeah.
Can you stuff it?
Oh yeah.
Have you ever done it
Not in a
in a game?
dunk.
Dunk, yeah.
Not in the game, but
You
can.
can.
I,
Okay.
Once he gets the first one down, it won't be any. It's right in here right now.
Yeah. Sure, but that really gets a crowd if you can going on something. If you get the,
Oh, you bet. You bet.
someone gets the stuff in there, and of course all kinds of stuff they do. You do track and football
Yeah.
too, and everything. What do you do in track?
I'm 200-meter dash, high jump, and then just some relays here and
Okay,
there.
like relays.
Yeah.
100 meter, you say?
Yeah,
That's-
200.
200,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, and he's going to be. He got selected for the 8-man All-Star game.
Oh, he
this
did?
summer. He was one of my 2 that we
I'd heard
got
that.
on this
Wow,
year.
okay, I didn't realize that. Okay, I haven't seen that. I've seen the Shrine Bowl, but I haven't seen the 8. Well, that's great.
Thank you.
So what do you have to do to get ready for that?
I guess just to be decent at football.
Okay.
I don't know the specific standards, I guess.
Okay.
You got plans after high school of
There's a couple colleges I'm looking at, but I haven't narrowed it down yet.
Offer you, what do they want you to play?
Well, McPherson right now wants me to play football, and there's a couple other schools.
Okay. So what do you want to take?
Uh,
Major in?
I am thinking about maybe like social work or psychology.
Okay, all right. Well, but you don't know. Are you going to try to get a scholarship though? Makes sense.
I don't know if I want to play football, but if I do,
Okay.
I've got some waiting for me. That's
Okay,
right
well,
now.
that's good. That's great. Did it bother you much? The other schools, do they call on you and want you to do stuff, or how does that work?
No,
Did they send you letters, or what?
they usually call me. They get my number from Mr. Jenner, and I like the attention, so it doesn't bother me.
Okay, all right. That's pretty good. You don't have someone wanting you to come there and play, isn't it? That's great. All right. Plus, it helps the budget a little bit too if you go.
Yeah,
go and get that's
A little
for
bit of
sure.
scholarship money never hurts.
Well, good luck the rest of the season.
Thanks, sir.
And do you like playing at Palco? You like? the
Yeah, I
gym
like
down-
playing with my buddies.
Yeah. Okay.
playing
very
around.
good. Anything else for Riley?
No, it's good seeing him again. He really was a good kid back then. He still is.
Still is.
Yeah.
Still is.
Okay, very good. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. All right, we're going to talk another senior, right?
Another senior, Lane Stapleton.
Lane. All right, and you find your senior leadership is really, really good this year.
For the most part of the season, we've had a little bit of lax time at times, but we've got
Sure.
it back on track. They do a
Okay.
pretty good job.
Yeah. Okay. Lane, what's your job?
I'm really just like a guard. I can do some dribbling, but coach likes to keep it with the point guards.
Okay. You like?
Layton's one of those kind of catch-all. He can play down low if you
Yeah.
need him to. He can handle the ball. He can be out on the top, wing, wherever you need to put him.
You'd rather have someone get the ball here, than as opposed to dribbling here, and here.
Right.
Okay.
These are the guys that'll get you the wins, because if they can get you 10 points,
Yep.
you've definitely got something.
Yeah, and so far, and the games we've won this year, we've spread it out pretty good. We usually have 4 guys in double figures,
Wow.
maybe 10, 12, 14. Nobody just going 30 points a game or anything.
That's great.
Well, that's interesting because if someone isn't on,
Yeah.
you could go to
You've
someone
got
else.
somebody
That's the
else to
important
pick
thing.
you
Yeah,
up.
that's what the big thing. And, a lot of colleges get that way. You know, the guy with Oklahoma. You know, they just kind of it's him and the other 4. Well, I think maybe they're trying to include him a little more. I think or include that. Anyway, so have you always played what you played? Or,
Basketball's always been my favorite sport.
okay. Do you do summertime basketball too? Maybe
Yeah.
basketball.
I try to. Like this year, we did summer league basketball before the season, which it didn't go the best, but we had fun while we were out there doing it.
Yeah. If you'd have told me we'd be 11-3 after what I saw this summer, I told you were crazy.
Well, see that's your coaching ability. You know,
Yeah,
yeah,
That's right. That's all coaching. Yeah.
Something clicked in them because they turned it
It's
around.
amazing. Okay, do you like to shoot the 3 though? Do you shoot the 3?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you feel? Pretty good when you get let go of it?
Yeah, the first half of the season I wasn't very good, but I picked up the second half of the season and started making them. So
Yeah, he finally found his shot.
Yeah.
Probably the last 3-4 ball games we've played, which has helped us out too.
Okay, sure. And get that. Any particular gym you like to play? You like to play Palco too? Or?
no, I just like it when I don't like rims that are super loose. So
Yeah.
like the Colby High School gym, I don't like that one.
And that's a noisy place, and they have, you know, I've done a lot of ball games from Colby.
Yeah.
That's at the convention center, and because Colby High School has a gym too. They play basketball too. But the convention, or they call it the center there. Is that where you play your games? Is that where your tournament was?
Yeah, it was there the last 2 days. It was the community building, and before that we played. There was some games at the high school, some at the community
Yeah.
building.
Okay. So, do you like community building there going in?
Yes and no. It's a nice facility, but it's they've kind of let it go. It's not as glamorous as it used to be.
Yeah, it used to be
Yeah,
a nice place to go.
right. And it's still pretty nice,
Sure.
but they've kind of let it go and
Sure.
could have done some improvements here and there.
Do you prefer offense over defense, or do you have a preference?
I just usually hustle either end I'm on. So
Is he one of
Offense or
them that
defense?
uses all his fouls?
Yeah, most of the time. and honestly, with only 11 guys, we really have not got into too much foul trouble in any game. And I got to knock on wood somewhere.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
That'll come back and haunt me. But yeah, so far we've done a pretty good job with not getting in foul trouble.
Is that because of the defensive
I
play,
think
you
part of
think?
it is the zone that we run. That helps a lot. But these guys do a pretty good, decent job with not getting in because they understand we don't have a lot of depth, so we need to stay foul free as much as we can.
What do you do in track? You do track?
I did track last year. I didn't do my freshman or sophomore year.
Okay. You going to do it this year, or have you made that mind up on that?
If Jenner has his way, I'll
Okay,
make it.
that's not a fair question to ask when you're sitting next to coach, because football. You're into football too. And
Yeah.
who was your other boy that made the?
David Thompson from Palco.
Okay, all right, and I'm thinking of bringing all the area athletes back in who made the 8-man and the 11-man, having on a sports talk here after. So I'll be probably contacting you and get some of them probably after the basketball, the rest of it. So we have some kind of in between season there. We have some things to talk about there. So, what are you going to do when you graduate?
I've still been going on some college visits, so
Really?
I don't have everything finalized, but I'm getting there to making full-on decisions.
Okay, so do you know what you want your degree to be in?
Probably like athletic training or ag business.
Okay, sure. Okay, now are schools contacting you about coming there to do sports, or
No.
you're just visiting schools and where you want to go? Okay,
Yep.
very good. Anything else? I appreciate you coming over.
Thank you.
And stay warm.
All right, I will.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'll shake your hand next time. Okay. Wow. All right. Another Trojan here.
No senior Colton Grieving.
I could tell he was grieving.
Yeah. You know, I've been doing, I think, 8 or 9 generations of grievings in basketball and football. Grievings, as long as I can remember, there's been grievings out there. Colton, what is how do you feel things are going? You're a senior.
Yeah.
Okay, how do you feel this year? I know you probably like to add that 2 wins against the Valley. But,
Oh, yeah.
But is it still as big as it used to be?
Oh, yeah. It's still
I mean,
it's still a big
I
game.
remember it used to really be a big rivalry when the Valley and the Trojans played.
Yeah, and I've only been up here teaching for the last 4 years,
Yeah.
but I mean, you can tell, even when I was at Western Plains, you knew Valley and Logan got together, it was going to be a war.
Yeah.
Always has been, always will be.
Oh, it is. You know, it's great to have that. I spoke at the athletic banquet of Logan one time at the end of the season, you know, and they asked me to speak, and so I wore a green shirt on purpose. I wore a green shirt on purpose because when I got up there and I said, "All right, now all you people out there are probably, why does he have a green shirt on?" Well, I had a red shirt on underneath it, and I took the green shirt off so I could have the red shirt. But that red and green, that goes way back. The colors there. It's been a great. My association with Logan and Northern Valley is really big. Okay, let's get back, Colton. What do you feel the strength of your game is? How tall are you?
I am 6'3.5".
Okay,
That's what I
all right.
measure out at. Yep.
What's your favorite part of basketball?
Oh, my favorite part of basketball is just being the point guard for the team. I am a point guard at 6'3", which is pretty crazy.
Really?
But,
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
I like to pass a lot. I like to get my assists every game, and rebounding. I've been trying to work on my rebounding a lot and help the team out there. But just kind of just being a team player, getting my guys good shots, and knowing when they're hot and
Sure.
feeding them when they're hot. And, yep.
Do you get very many rebounds being point? Or you have to get underneath there? You get a lot of
Yeah.
rebounds?
He gets quite a few.
Yeah, I think one game we played Tri-Plains in our tournament, and I think I got 17 total rebounds.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. So
From the point guard position, that's pretty good.
Yeah, he
No, it
does
sure
pretty good
is.
job.
Yeah. Do you get very many block shots? Do you like
Oh, I'm not much of a block. Every time I do go for a block shot, it ends up being a foul.
you get
so,
a foul?
Yeah, I swing a lot.
Make it count.
Yeah.
You like zone? You feel zone? Huh?
Oh, yeah, I kind of like the shot.
Come on,
Don't-
coach.
Don't lie.
Yeah, I sometimes wish we could run a little bit more man-to-man, but sometimes we just don't have the personnel to match
Well,
up
I
with other
understand
teams.
that
but,
too, because you don't man to man, you're more prone to foul than
Yep.
on zone situations. You shoot the 3 then?
Oh, yeah, I like the three ball.
Okay.
Because when I was young, I was not very big. Like, I was just like a little point guard, like 5'6", I think I was.
Really?
Freshman year, I was 5'6". So I pretty much just kind of had to live out there because if I went inside, it wasn't going to end well for me. So,
Yeah, he's
That's
grown,
good.
He's grown.
That's a
quite
blessing.
bit
He
the
must
last
have,
2 or
yeah,
3 years.
yeah.
It's kind of gone up.
So you've worked your way up, always handling the ball because you've been a point guard.
yep.
That's great.
His biggest problem handling it right now is he's got such long arms. The ball gets out away from his body, but
Yeah.
he's gotten better at that. So.
It's interesting. Do you like playing at the Palco Gym or any gym you like?
Oh, home's probably my
Home,
favorite place to play. I love playing at home. Our fans and that
Yeah.
Valley and Logan game that we had earlier this season, it was probably one of the best games ever because fans were hype and just the whole gym was rocking pretty much.
The Logan Gym is to me, and I've a lot of games there. I used to do it up above and then behind the scorer's bench where you broadcast it. It's a perfect gym for the home team, I think.
Yeah,
because
it gets loud.
Yeah, right. It is really good.
Yep.
And what are you going to do, Colton, when you go to school?
Oh, I have no idea where I'm going to attend yet. I'm still. I think I might go on one more visit to Bethel. I might go
Okay.
see Bethel College, but other than that, Hayes is another option for me right now, and I think I'm gonna pursue broadcasting like you guys.
There you go.
All right. Well,
This is the man to talk
Yep.
to right here.
I want to be a broadcaster,
that's
like
great.
radio
Yeah.
broadcasting, and
you know, a lot of high school students, boys and girls, want to do that, but they never get into it until they get to college, you know. And there's how do you over here and be a guest host some morning?
There you go.
Okay, all right. Well, that's neat. What do you want to do? Sports, or do you? What do you want to do? News, or what do you want? A disc
Yeah.
jockey? They don't have disc jockeys anymore.
but yeah, if I do go to a JUCO, I might plan on playing some basketball. Like I think Bethel's
Okay.
talking to me about basketball. But if I just go to Hayes, I think I'm just gonna pursue the broadcasting career because they just got a brand new broadcasting building and
You're right.
set
yeah,
up. So
I went 4 years broadcasting at Hayes.
Yep.
Got my. Then though they didn't have TV, and this had Marconi. No, not really, but they didn't have about 18 hours is all you could take in radio, and the Coliseum was not. They played basketball there, and the radio department was up at the east end of the Coliseum, up
Yeah.
on the 3rd floor. Now they've got over. And of course, I went to buy instructors when they named the broadcasting afterward. Well, if you want any tips, I don't know if I can help you or not, but I may have you over here sometime as a guest host.
that'll be
Okay, I'll remember that. All right. Anything else?
It's just nice to see some of these
It
young
is,
men that, like I said, I've known your grandpa, Bill, for years, and it's just nice to see grandkids coming back. And so, you know, your dad was part of that Logan Northern Valley rivalry. Now you are, and
I did
it's great,
games.
you know.
Did they win state that one year or something? Was that your?
I don't think any of my
But
I don't think my grandpa ever won state.
Okay.
And I know my dad never
His,
won
his
state.
grandpa was part of a team over at Prairie View.
Oh,
That
okay.
back in the, I can't remember when it was, but they were like the tallest high school team in the nation
Yep.
because your grandpa was
Wow.
like 6'8", 6'9". They
Tallest.
had
Hey, wow.
Jim Engelsman, who was 6'9". You had another guy that was 6'7". You had 6'6", 6'5".
Wow.
For a small school. That's,
Yeah,
that
I
really
was
is.
short
Wow.
for Prairie View. I'm only 6'1", you know, and it's the Dutch. They are tall.
something in the water over there.
They are very tall people. When you can go pheasant hunting with a guy and watch him scissor a 5-wire fence without jumping, it's
What do you do other sports?
I did football earlier this year.
Yeah, in
Football.
fact, these three that I brought when we did the football earlier
right.
in here, they were the same three that I brought
Sure.
for that.
Okay. Right. And I was going to have your sister on. Well, maybe was it your sister? Did you just lose a grandmother? Who was
Yeah,
that?
we did.
Your
We did lose my great grandma, great
grandma.
grandma
Well,
Keith.
she was going to be on at my. Kristen. She's
Okay,
your
yep,
sister?
she's my older sister.
Okay, well, she was going to be on, and then the funeral came up, and she didn't make it. So I'm
Oh,
still
okay.
working to get her. That's the
Okay.
program where I had a bunch of college athletes
Right.
who were coming
Yeah.
back. It was really a good show. I had a good time doing that. There's still a couple out there we didn't get back on, and we'll have to work them in there. Well, anything else for Cole?
no. I can remember your uncle Kyle Grunert.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was a fantastic ball player.
Like I said, I've known the Grievings has been a name in sports over there for a long,
Yeah.
long time. It's cool. I'm going to shake your hand.
Alrighty. That's good.
Thanks for coming on. I'll shake your hand too. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it.
Good to
Yes,
see you,
sir.
gentlemen.
Thank
you, guys.
you.
Good luck the rest of the year.
Yeah,
guys.
good
you.
luck, y'all. Very good. Okay, who do we have? We have Logan Girls next, or Keith? Okay, Logan Girls. Okay. A reminder that the program brought to you this morning by all your friends at the Farmers State Bank, where interest begins the moment you enter the door.
Interest in you.
Member FDIC.
Yep. You and Gerald Bethke.
Yeah, right. He was one of my favorite people. When he was George Prairie View, you know, or not Stewart's.
I remember when you bought him a radio for his shower because he kept telling you he was never listening to the radio program because he was in the shower, so you bought him a waterproof radio.
Yeah, I bought a waterproof radio for set on Sunday morning. He could
Yeah.
listen to his shows. That's great. Anyway, Farmers State Bank, Mapes and Miller. It's not what you make, but what you keep. Mid-America Real Estate, providing the best homes in the area for over 40 years. Blossoms and Butterflies, making beautiful flowers a part of your life. Sign Solutions, your one-stop sign shop, so much more. Madison Motors, in business for over 70 years, and Rogers Associates, your local trusted choice agency. Okay, Logan's with us this morning. Thanks for coming on, Logan.
Hey, no problem.
Yes, sir. Let's talk about Logan girls basketball here. Okay, so how are things going?
Well, it's been a little tougher year than last year.
Yeah.
We've had some tough games, some close losses, but we're starting to put some things together, and I think we'll make a nice run down the stretch.
How many do you have out?
We have 10.
Okay, is that I was talking, with 11 and the boys. Is 10 make it? Is that tough?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it only allows us, we play a half a JV game, so the younger girls don't quite get as much experience as we would with like 14 girls
Sure,
out.
yeah.
But you look at practice and you go to sub in, you're like, oh, that's it.
Yeah,
okay.
sure. Right. Sure.
You have some kids gone for sickness or,
Yeah.
the multiple extracurricular activities that they do, and, you're kind of stuck at practice. So.
Right, yeah. So, because you'd like to have a 5-on-5, and
Yeah,
you can't do
yeah.
that. And of course, football teams get that way sometimes too. If you get less, you can't put a full time on the defensive or offensive
for
side
sure.
during that.
What's your record for the year?
We are 4-10.
Okay. And you say a lot of them in close ball games?
Yeah. We lost to Oberlin, Decatur Community, by 2.
Wow.
We had a 7-point loss to Wheatland in the league tournament. I'm trying to think, we have another one.
5-point loss to Golden Plains.
Yeah, we lost to GP Golden Plains by 5 in OT out at their place.
Yeah.
So
Okay. See Northern Valley how many times? Once or twice?
we played them 3 times
So,
already.
you saw them in the tournament too?
Yeah,
Wow.
we played them right before Christmas break because we had that scheduled change because Western Plains Healy consolidated.
Okay.
And then we played them the Friday right before league tournament, and then we played them first round of the
Wow.
league tournament. So we played them Friday, came back, played them
Wow.
Monday night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So then we'll have. I think we're going to try to get them on next week to talk about the Valley there. What are your strengths? What are you seeing your team get better doing this year, Logan?
I think we're getting a little more confident in our shot selection and taking the open shots when they're there and not passing them up.
Yeah.
We're good about getting it into the post. I mean, we get the shots we want. It's just a matter of putting it in and finishing the play.
Sure. Okay. Did you shoot the 3 of us there, or you work it in, or on defense? Or?
We have some that are okay to, we'd like to go inside out and then take a 3-point shot or off transition break or offensive rebound and a kick out. Knock down the open 3 there. Otherwise, we look to get it inside if we can because that's where our strength is, I feel like.
Do you have much height?
Yeah, I mean, we got Ryan at 5'9",
Okay.
Lexi 5'8", and then Cameron Grieven at 5'9", 5'10", around there. But we got some size for
Another Grieving.
a small 1A.
Yeah.
Yep, we got another Grieving.
That's amazing. How they've been really involved in sports over there with Prairie View and Logan. Of course, when I first came here, Prairie View still had their own school.
I was one of the last 4. There was 4 in my class, last 8th grade class to
Really?
graduate. The next one was only 3, and one of them was Kurt Pockabeer, whose son Jack plays over here.
It was funny. I was going to Norton, and that's way back. I think 68 or whatever, 69. I was going to Norton to do a ball game, and the the Prairie View kids were on the side of the road waiting for the Logan bus to come by and pick them up, right? And
A lot of bus rides.
a
lot of bus rides.
But getting back now to Logan, in the league here, what's been the competition for you in the league? Northern Valley, is it?
Northern Valley, Golden Plains, Wheatland's right there. Shiloh is greatly improved this year. And then, I mean, I would say those teams there.
Do you wish you could have played last night?
I do. I mean, I think we played Weskin in that preseason tournament out at the Sagebrush. It was a close game. I think we won by 5 in overtime. Is that right, Ryan?
You won in overtime? 5?
Yep.
Okay, good.
That was like the beginning of the season. So we've improved since then. So I think it would have been a good game for both.
Well, it helped to get another. If you get a win, it helps.
Helps any seeding we can get. Any win helps the seeding down the road to the postseason.
Are you looking ahead of seedings yet? If it's still, how many games? You probably had 3 games before seeding. Okay, plays fifth center.
I think 4.
4 games before they
Yeah,
seed?
I think
Okay.
4 because it's that Tuesday against Lakeside is that last game before they seed.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we'll be either the 3 or the 4,
Okay.
depending on how it goes.
That'll be Pal.
Yeah, it just depends on. But Palco's got a tough stretch. I think they play Valley, GP, and Wheatland all in a row.
Okay, yeah.
So they've got a tough stretch there. So we'll be either 3 or 4 seed.
Okay. Who'd you bring this morning?
This is Ryan Katz, one of my seniors.
Okay. What do you feel your part of the team is?
I do a little bit of everything, but I start out as a post. So, like he said, we try to work it in, and then once we've struggled a little bit, then we kick it back out and hope that someone hits down a 3 or something.
Okay, so
like
you're
that.
your post. You're in there on the post.
That's what I start out as. Yeah.
Sometimes she handles the ball if we get
Okay,
into foul
sure,
trouble or
okay,
anything
yeah.
like that.
How's your foul trouble been this year? You had any games there? Where,
Oh man, what was that? Was that Brewster? Where you had,
I had 3 in the first.
and then
probably
our
9
starting
minutes.
point guard had 2 or 3 there in the first half. So we
Wow.
were going deep into that very short bench
sure,
that we
yeah.
had.
and have you ever had to play with 44? You haven't had that problem.
No, we
You
haven't. We
fouled
haven't.
too many out.
I don't think we have. I think maybe Kelsey fouled out at the very end of the game, but
Okay.
I don't think we've ever had to play like 4
Yeah,
or anything like that.
Like that. Okay, so you go for the rebound as post. Is that what your strength is underneath there?
Yeah.
And put backs. You like? You work,
Yeah. Or sometimes I just kick it back
Kick
out
it
when we
back
try
out.
to
Okay. And
reset the
someone
offense.
else is open out there.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. How many seniors do you have?
2. I got
2.
2. I got Ryan and Lexi.
Okay, all right, good. That always makes it easy to know who to bring over here.
Yeah, right.
Because we like to have them all on, but the time just doesn't allow it. Where are you going to go to school?
Kansas Westland in Salina.
Okay, you know what you're going to do yet?
I'm gonna play volleyball.
Oh, yeah, they're going to
Yep.
talk to you about volleyball?
Yep.
Well, that's great. They have a good program down there.
Yeah.
They really do.
I'm hearing that last name Katz. Who are your parents?
Michael and Shannon.
That's what I thought. There's another Purdue connection.
Yep.
Well, the Caps and the Weavings and the
Skimpers.
the Kemper, the Jansoni,
You know what's amazing to me is, your record is very deceptive because it sounds like you've lost a lot of close games, and sometimes these kids don't realize that a 15 or 20 point loss can be a close game. I've seen teams get blown out by 20. The next time they'll beat that team by 20. So you guys have some ability to go further.
The thing is, it's all over the season, the brand new season.
That's
once
it.
you get your tournament started. If you feel you made your improvements all along.
Everybody's 0-0.
Yeah.
Good things. So do you do other sports too?
Yep, I do.
Well, obviously volleyball.
Yeah, and then I do track.
What do you do? Track.
I run the 400 and the 4x4, 4x1, and pole vault.
Okay. You like the relays?
Yeah.
You're tired by the end of the
Yeah.
meet, aren't you?
Yeah.
Anything else? Did you do summertime basketball too? Do you do all those things too?
Yeah.
And volleyball, maybe more volleyball. And
Yeah, we do summer volleyball, basketball, we have dance, all that.
did I ask you what you're going to do in taking school?
I'm gonna study graphic design.
Graphic design.
Yep.
You like to draw?
I like to do it on the computer. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Old
Yeah,
man. Old
they're
man,
past us.
old man. I saw you with a pencil and a sextant and all this kind of stuff. Everything's on the computer anymore.
Yeah.
Gee. Oh. Is it easier doing them?
I think it is.
Okay. How'd you get interested in doing something like that?
Yeah. Mainly through yearbook. And
Oh,
just
okay.
designing stuff
All
like
right.
that. Yep.
So do you want to go to the big city and be in graphic design?
No, I'll come back here and do it. I can do it over the computer, so I can work for
you
anyone.
can do go anywhere in the world now
Yeah.
and do.
Yep.
And if you want to not to work for an hour, you don't have to work for an hour.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
And so you want to come back here? That's
Yep.
great. Good.
Yeah, we need
more
more
come
people.
back here.
I knew your grandpa and grandma very well too, John and Audrey. They'd be extremely proud of you.
Yeah, well, very good. Well, I hope things go well at Kansas Wesleyan and the
Thank
rest
you.
of the season there. Do you like to play a Palco? Do you like to play the gym down there?
It's okay. Yeah, it's
Okay.
a bigger gym than what we're used to because
Yeah,
a lot of our
you-
league has small gyms.
Do you like your gym though? It's noisy, isn't it?
I love our
You
gym.
like the
yeah.
noise in there?
Yeah.
That's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you. Good luck in volleyball and everything, and the graphic design.
Thank you.
And gee, I saw her with a pencil in her ear here, you know, and doing this. And gee.
Times have changed.
Yeah, they have changed.
T-square.
Yeah. See, that's what I said. T-square. Yeah. Maybe be an architect. Whatever. Okay. Who do you have?
This is Lexi Hilburn, one of our other seniors.
Okay, Becky. What do you-
Lexi.
Oh, that's right, Lexi. What do you do, Lexi, with the team? What's your job?
Well, lately I haven't been getting very many points, but I've changed to offensive rebounds,
Okay,
switching it up a little bit.
you get the rebound and kick it out, or
Yeah,
Okay.
I get yelled at too, don't I?
Yes, you do. She's got good offensive moves, good footwork
Yeah.
underneath, and so when she passes up an open look, it's
Yeah,
like, oh, well, can't get you any closer.
that's how it is.
Kids are sometimes afraid to shoot, and it's that team concept. They want to pass it, and it's like, yes, that's great, but if you're wide open, you've got the shot. And
Yeah.
you can hit it.
Yeah, sometimes we're too unselfish.
Yeah.
Have you ever brought the ball out and shot from a little further out than underneath the basket?
In practice, yes.
Okay.
We haven't been up by enough. I asked him, and he said, "Yeah, you can shoot a 3 if you want."
You shot
We're
a 3
up.
at the end of a quarter one time.
2 seconds.
Did you hit it?
No,
I was close.
It was short. But it was close. She's hit some in practice, she's hit some outside shots in practice.
Yeah. Okay. You like to get a good assist, all right?
Yeah.
That makes you feel good. I like to see a good assist in a ball game, you know, because it's you've helped someone else and you've helped yourself also.
Those two, since I came here and they were sophomores, those two, they work so well together underneath. They make cuts and they just know where the other one's going to be, and they usually end up finding each other.
Yeah.
We've been playing since 3-on-3.
Well,
and
see, now you know
5-on-5.
what you know what the other person is. That's just really good. You feel you're as a senior, your leadership is needed in there. Okay. How tall are you?
Like 5'8", 5'7".
Okay. So you defense. What do you do on defense? I mean, man-to-man underneath. Or
Sometimes.
Mostly zone.
Yeah,
We're mostly a zone
Okay,
team.
all right.
We'll go man-to-man sometimes just to change the tempo up
Sure.
and just see if we can get them, sped up, maybe get some easy
well.
turnovers or anything like that. But we're mostly zone.
And the
stayed out.
zone.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to ask you, you guys stay out of foul trouble? I mean, with 10,
Try to.
yeah, that's hard.
That-
Yeah.
with 10 there with the zone, that kind of helps you. You see a lot of teams that have foul trouble, they'll go to the zone.
Yep.
To cut
Yep.
down on that. Any win this year that you think? I know you have 4, but anything you really think about? Say, boy, that was a great win. That you maybe came from down or anything.
Not that I can remember.
She's honest, isn't she? She's
I haven't really had a big one to remember.
We had I would say maybe Weston in OT, just because it was OT.
Yeah.
Anytime you can win a close
Oh,
game in
yeah.
overtime, execution down the stretch, hitting free throws, that's always good. to
that's
have
who
that
wants it
kind of
more.
win.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? When you graduate?
I'm going to Cloud, but I don't know what I'm going
Are you
for
going to
yet.
play anything or do anything?
Looking at track, but
What
probably.
do you do in track? What's your?
I throw shot put.
Okay.
We know a good track coach over there, Drew Mahan.
Yeah. Oh,
He
yeah.
used to coach here. He's a great
Yep.
guy. He's one of the track coaches
Yeah,
there.
okay.
Cloud.
You do that discus too, or just?
Yeah, I'm not very good at it. I made it.
Very honest.
I made it to state and shot put last year.
Okay,
That's
well,
great.
Discus is hard.
Yeah.
Because I would end up throwing into the net every time or something.
I have
When
not
to
done
let
that
go
yet.
of that thing.
Knock on wood.
Okay, all right.
It's hard to get kids out for track. I can remember when my son was a senior, him and Lucas Jacobs didn't want to go out for track. And I told my son, I said, you just ought to go out for it. It's a senior year. You got plenty of time to work. Well, they finally went out for track. They ended up being put on the 4x100, which neither one of them thought about that. And they went to state, and they got 4th. And like he told me, he said, the one sport I never expected to get to state in, and everything else I wanted to get into state in, track's the only thing I got to state in. I tell kids, track is a great program, and you've got a chance to get to state, and it's a great time.
And if you go to state, did you have a good time at state last year?
Yeah, I was really nervous because I was really the only girl thrower, and it was my first year, and I was like, didn't really.
You had to go up against that girl from Dighton, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Jordan
Spear
Spear.
girl.
Oh, okay.
That's throwing Oklahoma, Missouri.
I don't
One
know
of
where
those
she's
two
signed.
Big
Yeah.
12 or one of those
Yeah.
D1 schools. But yeah, I thought you did all right. For
Yeah.
first time being at state.
Yeah.
It's neat. I was still at the south end,
Yeah.
outside the track there.
Yeah, it's like right in the corner.
Of course,
Tad's been there many a time.
yeah, it's a great place. That's one of my favorite places to go to state track. Of course, we used to watch them. The discus is out and the javelin's out behind there. We do all that. Thing. So, all right, well, very good. Well, we hope that things go well for you.
Thank you.
And what are you going to take in school? Did I ask
I
you?
don't know yet.
You don't know yet. Just want to.
I'll wait it out until the last second.
Okay. Well, do well the rest of the basketball season, okay? And,
Thank you.
and you're going to state, and hope you go to state again. How'd you do in shot last year at state?
I got 10th. I should have
Okay.
gotten 6th, but I was really nervous.
That's still
Okay.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks for coming on.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Logan.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
No problem.
You know, this guy, his wardrobe, you didn't have to bury because with Logan, you know, he can wear about anything, and you got your name on it. You know?
I had a ref one time. My mom had bought me a shirt. It was my first year coaching, and she had it embroidered and said Logan Trojans. And I introduced myself to one of the refs, and he looked at it and he was like, "Your name's Logan?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, and you're at Logan. Okay, now I get it. I thought you just like to put your own name on your shirt."
Logan's Trojans.
Logan, yeah. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
Good luck the rest of the season, Logan. Thank you for coming on. Okay. Keith's okay. Good deal. We're going to talk to Keith Side here in a moment. Phillips County Health Systems, again, made it possible for us to come and do this on a Saturday morning. Yeah, we're into it. Olive Boy Memorial Chapel, Stephen E. Russ, your State Farm agent, Sonic Drive-In. Like us on Facebook to see our Sonic deals. Phillipsburg Chamber and Main Street where the roads are paved with opportunity. Farmers and Ranchers Outlet and JNR Highback R. So that makes it possible for us to come here on a Saturday morning and talk with these athletes. I love talking to these athletes. You know, and the names, if they've been there for a while, they're for parents. You know, a lot of parents that
There's one there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Keith and Northern Valley. We had Logan on this morning here and talked a little bit about that and about the great rivalry that Logan and Northern Valley's always had. Okay, let's talk about Phillipsburg basketball. We didn't talk to you last week because of the CC tournament. What games haven't we talked about?
Well, that's what this week we had our Hoxie game on Tuesday postponed to the 22nd, so we didn't play Tuesday. Then last night we had TMP here for senior night, and it was good night for us last night. We got a good W last night.
Yeah, anticipate them coming in. Do you think they would be really?
Yeah,
tough?
they I think we're 11-4 or 12-4, something like that when they come in. One of the losses to us in the MCL championship game, and they have a very good team. They a bunch of senior boys that play a lot of basketball, and they have the size and insides, a couple 6'4", 6'5" kids that are hard to match up with, and the guards are a couple quick ones and some good shooters. So our kids know these kids been playing since junior high now, so since they've been in the league, and they know who he was going to play against last night, and our guys really rise to the occasion when we've been playing those guys here in the late.
You can find the RSA, the more time you play, the team is closer. Did you see that? Did you see that last night?
Well, that's what we knew. The MCL championship game, we got out on 28-14 in the first quarter and shot really well the first quarter. We knew it wouldn't be that easy. Last night we led 14-7 after the first quarter and had a good lead midway through the second quarter, and then kind of got in foul trouble. Some of our bigs got in foul trouble when we had to go a little smaller, and they kind of come back on us. And then free throws were a big part of that second quarter too. We kind of made some silly fouls and put them to the free throw line. And combined free throws last night, there were 74 combined free throw attempts last night.
Wow.
So we shot 41, and I think they were 33, I think is what it was. It's one of those games that I know you think of 74. the flow of the game wasn't very well, but really it flowed pretty good. I felt for, except for the last 3 or 4 minutes of the second quarter, and it kind of got okay. Let's let them play a little more than calling tic-tac fouls. So
probably weren't any. They weren't the Nebraska officials last night, then, were they?
No, I mean that's one of those games. It's tough to officiate too. I mean, and you start calling a little bit, and then you got to be consistent. And then our guys kept making those silly fouls a long ways from the basket. That we need to stop doing that. So, but it was a fun atmosphere last night and a fun game for our guys. We've been looking forward to some of these this week because we had Hoxie and TMP. We knew it would be two good teams, and unfortunately we didn't have Hoxie, so we were ready for last night. And I don't know, all the sickness and stuff, we've held on pretty well. And we had Chris and Van Cooten and Austin Miller were sick for a few days early in the week. And they're back pretty healthy, so hopefully it doesn't hit us like it has hit some other teams.
What it's like? You're planning on playing a ball game. You're going to travel and everything, and all of a sudden it's not there anymore. You have to adjust what you're going to do for that day and everything. Don't you?
That's what Monday you have a light practice for Tuesday. Then Tuesday you don't play the game, so then we end up calling practices off because of weather and stuff for all sports. And then like Wednesday, I mean, you're talking. We had a tough practice Wednesday. I ran them pretty good on Wednesday, and because I mean, you look back, we didn't practice Saturday, Sunday, light one Monday. There's like 4 out of the 5 days there we didn't do a whole lot. Mm-hmm. So we knew we had to go hard on Wednesday and recover on Thursday, be ready for Friday night's game.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so then. And I was talking to Rachel. There were how many games you had before they look at your seed?
Well, we have Concordia on Tuesday, then we're off the following Friday. Then we have Stockton on Tuesday. Those will count towards the sub-state. Then we have Hoxton that Thursday that won't count, so they seed that Wednesday.
Well, is that strange not to have a Friday ball game? How did that come about?
Yeah, it's one of those things. We got rid of Lexington, and then with Trigo getting back in the league, there's kind of been a struggle. If we're trying to get all our league schools on a Friday to play those, so it's just one of those things. Trying to get schedules matched up with 10 league schools, it's kind of hard to be ideal for everybody. But
did Trigo have a game last night? I couldn't find their score.
I didn't see scores on Twitter when I looked. I tried to find them, but I didn't see them either.
I don't know what happened with the Trigo game.
You're being heckled by Dan Hines.
Oh, yeah. He's a pro at that, I'll tell you.
Oh, no. There's Gary Bales now.
Gary Bales. Oh, that's a pair to draw to. So are you going to be the number 1 seed, you think?
It looks like it right now. Lakin, they just had 2 losses, and they got a third loss the other night. So looks like we could lose another game and still be the number 1 seed. So I didn't check after last night's score. Like I couldn't when I was looking for scores, I didn't see them right away, so I didn't really see how everybody done. And I know some games weren't played last night too.
A couple.
And Tuesday night, some played, some didn't. So and sometimes I know Max Preps isn't. Sometimes coaches, if they don't keep them up to date, it's wrong. And then Case has got a site now that most coaches are doing a good job of filling them, but you never know sometimes.
I'll have to get on that because my question is that they put all the scores on, but they don't say were boys or girls, and you have a hard time. Who is that?
Yeah.
Unless you know how the girls' game came out and something like that, you know. So you with what you're planning. So you mentioned a little bit of illness, but you've been pretty good.
Yeah, we've been pretty healthy. I know we had an injury. Traylon Groves kind of rolled an ankle. It was kind of a weird injury. It didn't really bother him to walk on it, but his toes kind of went numb. So they ended up going to Kearney and getting looked at, and kind of had some nerve problems there, and they put him in a cast and kind of stumped the doctors a little bit, and they took the cast off the other day, and he was walking on it, and he's going to try it on Sunday and see what happens. So it's kind of a different injury in that situation. He couldn't really roll his foot like normal, so hopefully it was just kind of a nerve kind of injury that kind of got healed up and swelling went down. Hopefully he'll be all right.
It was nice to see you last weekend at the C-team tournament down there at Beloit. It's nice to see Jaron Kellerman as assistant coach.
Yeah, that was a nice tournament down in Beloit. It's always good competition, see some different teams, and And you never know how like we took our C team, and sometimes other teams may have a JV look to them, which it doesn't hurt anybody to get your butt kicked once in a while. And we played well the first game against Beloit. I think Tyler Turner had 26 or 28 points and shot really well against Beloit. And then next game we played Clay Center in that C team game and didn't shoot as well, and they beat us by 15 or 20 that game. So, but it's always a good experience. And like last night, TMP, their JV beat us, and their C team beat us pretty good. But some of those kids just need the experience to get out there and play.
Well, that's the thing. You know, we've talked with Rachel a little bit about the fact that it's, you know, they have a chance to see people they don't know on the other side here. Like it's just your practice. You see, you go to school with all day, you know, and then you know what they're going to do and everything.
Thursday's practice, you're exactly right about Thursday's practice. Our kids were kind of bickering, kind of getting tired of practicing against each other, shoving and pushing. So it was good to play against somebody else last night. Cause it's like it's been a while for them. I mean, here I know like TMP, they'd only played 2 games since the last time we played them in the MCL tournament, and it just seems like it's been long ago in that just to be able to play 2 games. So I think both teams are ready to play against somebody else.
It just seems to me 79 fouls, that's got to be the most I've ever heard of. It's like when the
throws.
referees are grabbing spare whistles, you know, because they've wore one out. But, you know, I understand you try to keep the game in control. You don't want players, but at that many fouls, it's kind of taken out of the players' hands at that point.
Well, you don't, you know, your flow isn't there at all.
Yeah.
You can't get anything.
And a lot of the fouls were, I mean, we were attacking the basket, and they were challenging us, and there's fouls, and same thing with them. They're getting into their big guys, and they'd get us in bad situations, and we'd have to foul or give them 2 points. And there was a point in the game that in our timeouts, I was like, if they got it and they're going to make 2, either going to foul them hard where they don't score, or just let them go and just get it out of the net and try to get those 2 points back as fast as we can. So I know that's what depth, I mean, that's important, and both teams had enough depth last night. You really didn't drop off on talent or ability. It's just it's one of those things you got to make more free throws than the other team.
Rachel mentioned, and I'll just dwell on that too much about Southern Valley, the officiating up there. Now, do they officiate girls different than boys in Nebraska too, or they just let everything happen?
Just when both teams are even, it's a lot easier to officiate. I think when you have one team that's a little more dominant, a little more aggressive than the other team, and sometimes those are more hard to officiate.